A series rubber match between the Joliet Slammers and the Evansville Otters. The weather is heated up and the Frontier League playoff race heating up with under 2 weeks left to play in the season. Another key ball game on the final Thursday night of the year from Bosse Field. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to historic Bosse Field. This is Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. I'm Griffin Epstein on the Otters Digital Network. The Otters trying to take their third straight series of the season for just the second time this year, trying to do it in hard fashion. Joliet took the opener on Tuesday, a 9-3 victory for Joliet on Tuesday. They amassed 13 hits, but the Otters bounced back last night with a really workmanlike 7-2 win. They got a good pitching performance. Yohan Castillo made his first start at Bosse Field and was strong. 5 different Otters pitchers combined to hold Joliet to just 5 hits, and the Otters got a 7-4 victory. Noah Myers remained hot and led the Otters with 3 hits, 2 runs, and 2 RBIs. Time to meet the starting lineups. First for the Joliet Slammers, 41-45. The Slammers' 4-game win streak snapped yesterday. Liam MacArthur will be the leadoff batter for a third straight night for Joliet and plays center field. Christian Fetko bats second and plays third base. Zach Bierman batting third and the designated hitter. Tommy Stevenson bats fourth and plays first base. Phil Steering batting fifth and catches. Brock Mortensen bats sixth and plays right field. Bottom 3 in the Joliet lineup: Lane Barrymore, the left fielder, Matt McGarry, the second baseman, and Tyler DePreda Johnson, the Joliet shortstop, rounding out the lineup for the Slammers. He leads them this week with 5 hits on the series. The ready Turner Larkins will make the start for the Slammers today. Larkins on the season 9-4 with a 4.02 ERA. Starting lineup for the Evansville Otters, they're 47-38. A win tonight for the Otters puts them 10 games over 500 for the first time this season. Evansville 5 games back of first place. Gateway entering the night, and their magic number to make the playoffs is down to 5. A win tonight, and their magic number to make the playoffs down to 3. A chance to clinch this weekend at home. Gary Mattis will lead off for the Otters, the Edward Jones leadoff batter. Playing shortstop, Noah Myers bats second and plays left field. Jeffrey Baez batting third and playing right. Kona Quiggle in the cleanup spot will be the center fielder. Yomar Reyes bats fifth and plays third base. Dakota Phillips batting sixth and playing first base. Bottom 3 in the Otters lineup: Ethan Skinder, the designated hitter, Justin Felix, the catcher, and Austin Bose, the second baseman, rounds out the lineup for the Otters. The ready Zach Smith on the bump today for the Otters. He's 6-7 with a 3.94 ERA. All 6 of his wins this season coming here at Bosse Field in what will be his last home start of the season. Looking for one more win here at Bosse as the Otters try to take their 3rd series in a row, deal another blow to Joliet's playoff hopes, and bring the Otters closer to securing a playoff berth with 11 games left to play. Schaumburg has also lost today, so an Otters win, and they move to just 2 games back of the Boomers for second place in the Frontier League West. Otters will take on Florence this weekend. Final matchup of the season between Joliet and Evansville here at Bosse. The series on the line. Plenty of playoff implications on the line tonight. We'll have it for you on the other side. You're listening to Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and watching on Flow Sports.
Pitching for the Evansville Otters, right-handed pitcher, number 24, Zach Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America's freedom, those who now protect it, and pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice with the singing of our national anthem, this evening performed by Julie Williamson.
National anthem on this final Thursday night of the year from Bosse Field. The Otters' magic number to make the playoffs. It's down to 5. A win tonight, it's down to 3. A Slammers must win tonight if they have any remote hopes at completing their strong run in August and sneaking into the Frontier League West playoffs. The Ready Zach Smith on the mound tonight for the Otters, back at home where he's performed much better this season. Smith overall 3.94 ERA, 6-7 in 98 and a third innings pitched. He makes his 18th start of the season, which leads the Otters. 9 quality outings. His home and road split's dramatically different. He's 6-2 at home with a 2.67 ERA and 10 home starts. On the road, 0-5 with a 5.97 ERA. He's coming off a poor road outing when he allowed 7 runs on 7 hits and 5 innings pitched with 5 walks against Washington. He was the Otters' best pitcher in the month of May. He's not consistently found his best stuff over the last couple months. The Otters looking for strong pitching for a second straight night after really holding Joliet's offense without much production all evening long. Around the diamond for Smith, Justin Felix catching, Dakota Phillips at first, Austin Boast at second. Gary Mattis is at shortstop today for the first time this season, and Yomar Reyes at third base. In the outfield, Noah Myers in left, Kona Quiggle in center, and Jeffrey Baez in right field. Felix, the battery partner for Smith for the 5th time this season. A 5.09 ERA for Zach Smith when Felix is his battery partner. Liam MacArthur will lead things off for Joliet on another steamy night here at Bosse Field, still in the midst of this heat wave that continues to just proliferate much of the central part of the U.S. Lefty batting MacArthur, Smith ready on the rubber, and the first pitch of the game home. A fastball on the outside corner for a strike. 91 degrees with not a cloud in the sky today. Wind lightly blowing out to left field. Real field temperature, though, is 103 degrees with humidity. The 0-1 is hacked at left side and foul, 0-2. This is the 4th day of this heat wave across the Midwest, and this is easily the worst. With the humidity, no cover from the sun, no clouds. It is hot as can be. 0-2 to MacArthur. Fastball misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Otters did not take any batting practice. They were probably any game this season, the least amount I've seen them out on the field before a game just because of how hot it is. 1-2 to MacArthur. A looping breaking ball chopped off the end of the bat back to the screen, and MacArthur stays alive. Certainly a good day for a cold drink, and plenty of fans here at Bosse enjoying this final Budweiser Thirsty Thursday of the year. 1-2 from Smith. Another changeup, just misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just underway here in the top of the first. Shadows are behind the second base back, right on the edge of the center field grass with most of the outfield in the sun. Austin Boast at second, his heels on the right field grass, still looking into the sunshine. The 2-2 sails high and a full count to MacArthur, but pretty much all the infield in the shadows. Season series is on the line today as well. Otters and Slammers 4-4 in their first 8 games of the year. It's the 9th and final showdown as Smith will step off before the payoff pitch. And they're going to give him a pitch clock violation, and that's ball 4 to MacArthur. How about back-to-back nights, back-to-back innings, in fact. Leone de la Cruz had that happen to him last night in the 9th inning. Pitch clock violation with 3 balls, and now it happens to Zach Smith on the very first at-bat of the game. He stepped off. Smith stepped off at the last second, but it was too late. The pitch clock had already expired. First pitch now to Christian Fitko, misses low for a ball. That is not the ideal way you want to start a baseball game. MacArthur at first, nobody out. 1-0 count to Christian Fitko. Certainly going to be watching Smith's command this evening. The 1-0, a changeup falls outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Smith has walked at least 4 batters in his last 5 outings. Been much better at home. His Last 3 starts at home have all been quality outings. His last 3 starts on the road, he's allowed at least 6 runs. The 2-0. This is inside. 3-0 to Fetko. Joliet had a great offensive night. Really looked good in all facets of their ball game on Tuesday with 13 hits. Really quiet last night, though. The 3-0 on the inside corner for a much-needed strike. 3-1. Slammers only had 4 hits through the first 8 innings last night. It worked 9 walks. 3-1. Outside for ball 4. Back-to-back walks to start the evening for Zach Smith. MacArthur at second, Fetko at first, and Joliet brings up the former Otter, Zach Bierman, the lefty batter, trying to strike first here in the top of the first. Otters trying to lower their magic number, and with an Evansville win, they'll help out their friends from Schaumburg. The Boomers lost earlier today to Washington to not be able to clinch, but an Otters win here as Bierman swings the first pitch, chops it right side, both gloves it, looks at second, no throw there, and he'll toss to first for the out of Bierman, 1 away, and both runners advance. Ball hit too slow to be a double play. 4-3 ground out for the first out of the ball game. MacArthur to third, Fetko to second, and brings up the big power righty Tommy Stevenson, who has home runs in back-to-back games in this series. Pitch home from Smith. Change-up sails high, 1-0. So Schaumburg's magic number at just 1. Otters win. The Slammers loss here would clinch a playoff spot for Schaumburg. Gateway was helped out by the Otters last night. Evansville's win clinching the playoff spot for the Grizzlies. 1-0. Cut on and miss. Breaking ball, 1-1. And at Gateway's 10-year playoff drought, second longest playoff drought in Frontier League history, Gateway the first team to lock up a spot in the Frontier League playoffs, which are less than 2 weeks away now. 1-1. Swing and a miss again. Back to the changeup falling off the table, 1-2. MacArthur at third, Fetko at second with 1 out in the top of the first. Back-to-back walks starting the evening for Zach Smith on this scintillatingly hot Thursday evening. Field temperature of 103 degrees here at first pitch. 1-2. Bounces in front of home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And part of what makes a heat wave so difficult is it doesn't cool down much at night either. Even when by the time this game finishes 3 hours from now at 9:30, it'll still be a real field temperature of 91 with humidity and about 85 degrees overall. 2-2 home to Stevenson. Swing and a miss. Fastball in from Smith at 90. Got Stevenson striking out. 2 away in the first. After the back-to-back walks to start the inning for Zach Smith, he's responded with 2 outs. What's up to Phil steering the Joliet catcher. MacArthur at third, Fetko at second. 2 outs in the top of the first, just underway and scoreless between the Otters and the Slammers here in the series finale. Otters trying to win 3 series in a row. They haven't done that since May. Smith's first pitch home, a looping breaking ball falls in the dirt, 1-0 to steer it. Smith home. Sails high. 2 balls and no strikes. Joliet, their tragic number to get eliminated. The Otters are the opposite of the Otters' magic number. So a tragic number of 5 for Joliet. Loss tonight would certainly make it all but impossible for the Slammers to get into the playoffs. They really probably needed a sweep here of the Otters, but that won't happen after their loss last night. The 2-0 is fouled away left side, 2-1. All they can do is try to keep on winning games. Joliet will be up at Windy City this weekend, back in Chicago at the T-Bolts place, Ozinga Field. Washington Getting over Schaumburg, a Slammers loss, and Washington and Joliet tied for 4th place in the West. 2-1 home. A looping breaking ball on the inside corner for a strike, 2-2. To the changeup for Smith. Trying to work his way out of this first inning with that damage. The 2-2 popped up right side and drifting out of play, and steering stays alive. Steering 1 for 6 in this series, but he's worked 4 walks. Black glove for Smith, sets up on the right side of the rubber and throws home. Chopped off the end of the bat foul. Steering just stays alive. All white uniforms for the Otters. Otters written in blue across the chest, blue numerals on the back. Blue belt with a blue hat, white front, blue brim, blue E on the front of the hat. Blue socks for Smith, white pants tucked just below the knees, and white shoes to top off the Otters uni. Another 2-2. Grounded left side. Mattis, the shortstop, in, collects. Throw to first in time to get Steering and retire the side in the first inning. Smith walks the first 2 batters of the game, but escapes unscathed, shaking his head as he walks off. But it's a scoreless top of the first for the righty from Katy, Texas. We'll see the Otters offense for the first time on the other side. We're scoreless on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Thanks, Stephen. Great to be back after my 1-game absence. Great to be here at Bossy Field, our pitcher-catcher battery. We have Turner Larkins on the mound, and Philip Steering behind the plate. The pitcher-catcher battery is powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair.
Back at Bossy Field, bottom of the first inning, scoreless between the Otters and the Slammers. The ready, Turner Larkins on the bump tonight for Joliet. Larkins making his 18th start of the season. He's 9-4 with a 4.02 ERA, 103 innings worked this year. He's been utilized all season long for Joliet. 69 strikeouts to 29 walks on the season for Larkins. The Otters have seen Larkins once, and he was very good against the Otters. The series at the end of June, these teams played up at Dooley Field in Joliet. Larkins 6 shutout innings, allowed just 4 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. His only appearance against the Otters this year was a good one, coming off a quality outing against Florence last week at Dooley Field when he allowed 2 runs over 6 innings pitched. Been a strong season for Larkins. Big righty will face the Otters' Edward Jones leadoff batter, Gary Mattis, to start off the bottom of the first. Larkins home. Mattis swings and misses at the first pitch from the big righty. Larkins 6'3", 230 on the bump. Hefty guy from Arlington, Texas. Got 2 Dallas Metroplex pitchers facing off tonight, and Smith and Larkins, as the 0-1 misses inside to Mattis, 1-1. Gary is wearing neon green batting gloves tonight, matching the end of his bat that is also neon green. Former colors of his last team is with the D-backs organization, the Hillsboro Hops. Mattis pops one up right side. That drifts out of play onto the concourse, 1-2. Mattis, after a day off, back in the leadoff spot for the Otters, and the red-hot Noah Myers batting second. 1-2 from Larkins. Breaking ball outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Phil Steering is behind home plate for the Slammers. Tommy Stevenson at first, Matt McGarry at second, Tyler DeBretta Johnson at short, and Christian Fedko at third base. 2-2 home. Chopped off the end of the bat off the screen and into the Otters dugout. Lane Baremore is in left, Liam MacArthur in center, and Brock Mortensen in right field for Joliet. Steering making his second start of the series behind the plate. 2-2. Popped up by Mattis. In shallow center field for gray jerseys conversion. Who wants it? It's MacArthur, the center fielder. Reaches up and makes the jogging catch in shallow center, one away. Steering and Larkins, the pitcher-catcher battery for Joliet. That's sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call it 812-475-9000. One out, nobody on for the red-hot Noah Myers. Lefty batter, pitch home from Larkins. A breaking ball on the outside corner for a strike. Noah 3 for 4 yesterday, batted in 2 runs, 2 doubles, and scored twice. Just another day at the office for one of the hottest hitters in the Frontier League. He lays down a bunt down the third base line, rolling, reaches the lip of the grass and kicks foul. Oh, nearly a perfect bunt from Myers, artificial turf. That ball probably stays fair, but third baseman Fedko just waiting for that ball to kick off the lip of the grass, and as soon as it does, kicked to the left and rolled over the third base line. Would have otherwise easily been a bunt base hit for Noah. An 0-2 count to Myers, who slowly walks back to the batter's box and calls time. It's been such a good table setter for the Otters at the top of the lineup. 5 of his last 7 games in his first at bat, he's reached base. Going to do so again this evening. The 0-2 outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's reached base in his first 2 at bats in this series. Tripled on Tuesday and doubled last night. Came around to score the first run of the game. 1-2, sails high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Larkins on the right side of the rubber out of the windup. Sets at the chest, kicks and delivers. Outside, a full count to Myers. I can't believe with how hot it is, Larkins is wearing an undershirt. He's got a black undershirt with long sleeves. Even on this 100-degree day. Payoff home, chop foul and out of play. I mean, he's from Texas, so he knows how to handle the heat, but this is about as hot as it will get, probably the hottest day all year here in Evansville. Larkins still with a long black undershirt. Payoff home again is grounded foul right side, and this long battle between Myers and Larkins continues. Payoff home, chop foul and out of play. That's 3 straight. Fouled away by Noah. That's 8 pitches now in this at-bat. Myers hitting .325 on the season, 103 hits, his 8th most in the Frontier League. Another payoff. Popped up, out of play again. Just off the inside of the bat. Defensive swings by Myers to keep this at-bat going. This is a welcome to the ball game at-bat from Myers, welcoming Larkins and showing him how tough a night he hopes it is. Another payoff is lined right side and into right field, a base hit. Big turnaround first by Myers. He holds there as Mortensen throws it in. 1 at-bat from Noah Myers. On the 10th pitch of the at-bat, he lines it into right field for a base hit. Maybe the hottest hitter in the Frontier League right now. The Otters have their first base runner at first as it brings up the righty Jeffrey Baez. That hit, Myers hitting now over 400 in the month of August. He takes off on the first pitch. Pitch is outside for a ball. High throw from Steering, not in time. And Myers, a foot first slide, safely into second without a tag. Boy, is he a confident player right now. Base hit, very first pitch, steals second for his 35th stolen base of the season. That is also in the top 10 in the Frontier League. Myers in scoring position, 1-0 count to Baez. Larkins out of the stretch, peeks back at second, comes home, cut on and missed by Baez on a breaking ball, 1-1. Sun still out in center and right field. MacArthur and Mortensen having to deal with it. The rest of the field in the shade. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Slider on the outside of the zone. 1-2 count to Baez. No score here in the bottom of the first. Myers at second with 1 out. Just underway in the series finale between the Otters and the Slammers on a hot Thursday night. 1-2. Outside again and in the left-handed batter's box. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Otters trying to win their 3rd straight series, and all 3 series winning the last 2 games after dropping the opener. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball falls out of the zone. It's the first strikeout of the evening for Larkins, and there's 2 outs in the first. 2 away, Myers at second, and it brings up the lefty batter, Kona Quiggle. Kona with 2 hits on the series. He was 1 for 3 yesterday with 2 walks. Shortstop DePreta Johnson shaded behind Myers, behind the second base bag. Third baseman Fedko aligned with the bag. The first pitch home. Fastball outside to Quiggle, 1-0. Myers at second with 2 outs, no score in the bottom of the first. Beige brown glove this evening for Larkin. Set to the chest and delivers. Grounded right side and foul. 1-1. Final 3 games of the Otters season will be this weekend against Florence. It's the final weekday game of the year here at Bosse, pending playoffs, but at least in the regular season. Otters hoping to host a playoff game here at Bosse for the first time since 2019. 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Otters eliminated in 1 game last year on the road in the wild card at Schaumburg. And even though they had the 2nd best record in the league in 2021, the way the Frontier League was formatted that year, they missed out on the playoffs by half a game. No Frontier League season in 2020. 2-1, popped up left side and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Quiggle. Quiggle will call time. Long work here for Turner Larkins in the first inning on a hot evening. One of the hardest situations you have to pitch in all year, with just the heat and humidity. 2-2. Outside and a full count to Quiggle. Heat wave across much of the Midwest, south and the central portion of the United States. Really have 1 more night of really strong heat. Saturday will still be hot, but about 5 to 10 degrees cooler. And then Sunday should be quite pleasant in the low 80s to upper 70s. Payoff from Larkins. Misses low for ball 4. Long at bat by Quiggle. Works the first Otters walk of the day. 48th walk of the season for Kona Quiggle, which is 2nd on the Otters. He's at first, Myers at 2nd. And it brings up the Otters, our star 3rd baseman, Yomar Reyes. 27 pitches needed for Larkins here in the first inning. Noah Myers worked a 10-pitch at bat before lining a ball into right for a base hit. First pitch to Reyes, misses inside, 1-0. This was exactly what the Otters did last night. Putting up 8 hits and 7 runs, a lot of long at-bats, and scored in 4 of the first 5 innings. 1-0 is popped up by Reyes into left field. Barrymore back, looking up, it's gone! Yomar Reyes bringing the heat in a heat wave. A 3-0 Otters lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, Reyes.
376 feet just over the left field wall as Barrymore ran out of room. Yomar, his 7th home run of the season, gives the Otters a 3-0 lead. The Otters had not hit a home run here at Bosse Field in 6 games. That ends in the first inning with a 3-run Jack Fry Reyes. First pitch to Dakota Phillips, misses inside. Breaking ball, changeup from Barrymore on the outside of the zone, and Reyes got all of it. Certainly a night the ball's going to carry, and the wind drifting out to left as well. Barrymore off the bat, looked like he thought he might have a get to that baseball, but it just sailed over the wall. Phillips takes outside, 1-1. Barrymore home, swing and a miss, 1-2. 3-run home run by Reyes. The Otters open up the scoring in the first inning for the second straight night. 1-2 inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yomar, 39 career home runs in his 5 years in professional baseball, just 7 this season. He's really taken something off his swing this year, worked more on average than power. The 2-2 popped up left side by Phillips and drifting out of play. Hasn't had an explosive homer performance this season, but 7 home runs, nothing to shrug your head about. The 2-2 sail side, a full count. First homer since August 3rd. That was a memorable one, a 3-run home run in the 9th inning against Florence. The Otters nearly completed that comeback, also on a Thursday night against the Alls. Payoff pitch to Phillips is lined into the left center gap. Running it down is the left fielder Barrymore. Phillips is going to try for a second. The throw is wide of the second base bag, and Phillips slides in safely with his 29th double of the season. He retakes the lead in the Frontier League. Double 29 on a line drive into the gap in left, and the throw from Barrymore might have had a chance to get Phillips out, but it wasn't accurate. Took McGarry back towards the first base bag, and Phillips foot first slide into second with that attack. Back-to-back extra base hits by the Otters. Home run by Reyes, double by Phillips. Now it's Ethan Skinder takes the first pitch strike. 37th pitch now for Larkins, and we're still in the first inning. A single, a walk, 3-run homer by Reyes, and now a double by Phillips. 0-1 from the righty. Grounded left side past the shortstop to Preda Johnson into third. Holding is Phillips at third base as Barrymore tosses it in. It's a base hit for Ethan Skinder, and the Otters keep the line moving here in the first. Skinder poking one through the 5-6 hole. Phillips at third, Skinder at first, and it brings up the 8th batter of the inning for the Otters, Justin Felix. 4 straight have reached with 2 outs. Quick word, Phil Steering with Turner Larkins. I think he might be getting a little bit hot. He's tucking up those long black sleeves in his undershirt back to his elbows. Might have been a mistake on a 90-degree night with humidity making it feel about 100 degrees. The Otters have certainly turned up the heat offensively on Larkins here in the first. First pitch to Felix is fouled off the screen. Righty batting catcher in the lineup for a second time in this series. He went 1 for 3 on Tuesday in his start and was hit by a pitch. Four hits, 3 runs across here in the first for the Otters. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Down to second goes Skinder. Great jump and a foot first slide into second with that attack. Terrific jump by Skinder, and the throw by Steering, which was high, never stood a chance anyways. So 2 in scoring position for the Otters, and Skinder is 19th stolen base of the season. Phillips at third, Skinder at second. 0-2 count to Felix. Pitch home, popped up by Felix into center field. MacArthur going back, reaches up the glove and makes the backpedaling catch a few steps from the track to retire the side. A big first inning for the Otters. It's Yomar Reyes that does the damage on a hot night. A 3-run blast over the left field wall. And after an inning complete, it's Otters 3, Slammers nothing on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
The Otters would like to welcome Ralph and Angie Anderson. They're at tonight's game. Ralph and Angie are celebrating their 38th wedding anniversary with us tonight. So on the count of 3, let's wish Ralph and Angie a happy anniversary. 1, 2, 3. Happy anniversary to Ralph and Angie Anderson.
Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is presented by Budweiser, the king of beers. Griffin Epstein here on the Otters Digital Network, alongside our outstanding ODN and Flow Sports crew, led by our director Ian Klingler tonight. A 3-0 Otters lead over the Slammers, a 3-run home run by Yomar Reyes with 2 outs in the first, getting the Otters off to another quick start for a second straight evening over Joliet as they look to take the series. Brock Mortensen, lefty right fielder, leads off for the Slammers and takes a first pitch outside for a ball from Zach Smith. Almost a 20-minute inning. Got to credit Kona Quiggle and Noah Myers, who got on base before Reyes, for really setting up that home run. The 1-0 misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. Myers worked a 10-pitch at bat before a line drive base hit into right. And then Quiggle working a walk on a full count before Reyes launching his 3-run home run over the left field wall. 2-0 to Mortensen is driven right side and through the gap into right field. Base hit for Joliet to lead off the top of the second. Mortensen drives one through the 4-3 gap. Brings up Lane Bearmore, the left fielder. Mortensen at first and nobody out. 3-0 Otters lead. Slammers get their first hit of the ball game here in the second. Joliet, first 2 batters walked in the first inning. They got runners at second and third with 1 out. Couldn't bring anyone home as Smith got the next 3 batters out. First pitch to Bearmore, a fastball at the knees for a strike at 88 miles per hour. Sun is off the field, bouncing off the Crawford Door building in center. Now past the center field wall on the other side of Heidelbach Avenue. The 0-1, a breaking ball for a strike at the knees. 0-2 to Bearmore. Smith delivers home. Taking off is Mortensen. The throw down to second is a great one, and out is Mortensen. What a throw from Justin Felix, on the money. Perfectly placed, and Boast waving at Felix in appreciation for that throw. Barely had to move his glove and tagged Mortensen out right on his front cleat as he was sliding into the second base back. I mean, you couldn't have placed that more perfectly from Justin Felix. The 1-2 swing and a miss. And just like that, there's 2 outs in the second inning as Smith gets his second German-American Bank strikeout of the evening. 2 outs, now nobody on for Matt McGarry, the second baseman. Smith has to be delighted with some run support. He's not gotten a lot of run support this season. The first pitch to McGarry, a changeup at the knees for a strike. Otters have been shut out 7 times this season. 4 of those 7 times the Otters have been shut out has been when Zach Smith's pitching. The 0-1 fouled off the end of the bat. A dribbler back to the Otters dugout, 0-2. 4 of the 7 losses for Zach Smith. He's gotten literally 0 run support. And even as a recent loss against Florence at the start of the month, he didn't allow an earned run and also got a 4-3 loss. 0-2, misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Guy that was so dominant to start the season has faced some challenging situations on the road. It hasn't found a lot of success away from Bosse. Hasn't gotten a lot of run support. So the 6-7 record, not what you'd like, but an ERA still under 4. The 1-2 misses inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But he's got some early run support tonight. That has to be a confidence boost for Zach, who probably the most frustrated I'd seen him in any start all season. In his start last Friday at Washington, where nothing really went right for him. 2-2. Fastball misses high and a full count to McGarry. Smith sets and delivers. Swing and a miss. Fastball in. Strikes out McGarry. Back-to-back Ks to finish the inning for Zach Smith. Justin Felix threw out a runner, and the Otters face the minimum in the top of the second. Middle of the second, it's Otters 3, Slammers nothing on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Time to see who gets to upgrade to the Ashley Furniture Home Store Best Seats in the House. Our lucky winner will get to spend the rest of the game with the best seats in the house. We only had 2 people sign up today, and so I'm going to go with the first person to sign up, that being Josh Rosario. Congratulations to Josh Rosario, our winner of the Ashley Furniture Home Store Best Seats in the House. Josh, come on down and sit in the best seats in the house. Enjoy the view for the rest of the game with your feet kicked up. Batting ninth at second base, number 2, Austin Boast.
Austin Boast leads off for the Otters in the bottom of the second inning as Evansville leads Joliet 3-0 on a hot Thursday night here from Bosse. First pitch to Boast, misses outside for a ball, 1-0. 3-run home run by Yomar Reyes. The bottom of the first, giving the Otters an early lead. Evansville sent 8 batters to the plate in the first inning. Larkin's home, Boast swings and lines one into left field, racing over his Barrymore to make a running catch on a hard hit ball. 1 away in the second. Want to make your lawn and landscape look like a field of dreams? Make sure you use 10 Bars Professional Brand products. Pick them up at any of our 3 locations, beautifying the communities we live in and the grass we walk and play on, all since 1940. 1 out, nobody on, bottom second. Back to the top of the order, and Gary Mattis. Check swing foul off the end of the bat. And the first pitch from Larkins. Otters have won 6 of their last 9 games. 0-1. Check swing by Mattis, and he went around 0-2. Larkins out of the windup, delivers. Right down the middle, strike 3 called. Mattis left looking. Second strikeout of the day for Larkins. There's 2 away in the second as it brings up Noah Myers. 3-0 Otters lead. Evansville, they're 9 games over 500. They've never gotten to 10 games over 500 this year. They're 0-4 when they get to 9 over 500. They haven't been able to break over that barrier. As Myers takes high 1-0, a team that hasn't had longer than a 3-game win streak since May and has only had 2 3-game losing streaks all year. The 1-0 is grounded right side and foul, 1-1. Look out in the Otters bullpen. Right under a couple guys' feet. 1-1 to Myers with 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the second and a 3-0 Otters lead. Pitch home. Myers swings and grounds one right side. Backhanded by the second baseman Gary. Throw to first in time to get Myers. Pretty play by Matt McGarry at second. Backhanded play moving to his right, and then an off-balance throw in time to get the speedy Myers. 1-2-3 second bounce-back inning for Larkins after 2 innings played. It's the Otters 3, the Slammers nothing on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Top 3 from Bossy Field, a 3-0 lead for the Otters over the Slammers. Time to take a look at the Frontier League standings, brought to you by Seal Corp. Gateway clinching a playoff spot last night with the Otters win. The Grizzlies with a Schaumburg loss already. Gateway a chance to go 3 up on Schaumburg with a win this evening. 2.5 up on the moment on Schaumburg. Otters 2.5 back of Schaumburg and 5 games back of Gateway entering the night. First pitch to Tyler DePretta Johnson, lined left side past the diving Gary Madison into left field. And Joliet has a leadoff base hit to start off the top of the third. Back to the top of the order and Liam MacArthur. How about DePretta Johnson out of the 9-hole all 3 games. He now has 6 singles. Ready pitcher facing lefty batter. Smith working out of the stretch, delivers a fastball high 1-0. Otters magic number 5 to make the playoffs. Schaumburg now 1. Lost today, but an Otters win, and they're in. 1-0. Just misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. Windy City, Florence, and Lake Erie have all officially been eliminated. Washington's tragic number is down to 4. An Otters loss would move it to 3. And the Slammers, after losing last night, their playoff hopes on life support as well, with their tragic number down to 5. A 1-1. A changeup at the knees for a strike. 1-2 to MacArthur. Smith home. Popped up left side. Myers will race over, but it drifts out of play. MacArthur stays alive. In the East, Quebec entering the night, a half game up on New Jersey and 2 games up on Tri-City. The 3 teams in playoff position. New York, 2.5 back of Tri-City for that last playoff spot in the East. Should be a really interesting last 3 series in the East to decide playoff position. Lots still yet to be decided None of those three teams even close to clinching Quebec, New Jersey, and Tri-City as MacArthur takes low 2-2. Probably not going to be a whole lot of drama next week, at least in the West, in terms of who's in the playoffs, but could be some drama in terms of seeding. 2-2 outside and a full count to MacArthur. The East, who knows? It could come down to the very last day maybe to decide who's in and who's out. How tight it is between Quebec, New Jersey, Tri-City, and New York. And Sussex County's still not totally out of it either. 3-2 to MacArthur. Slice last side past the glove of Reyes and into left field, a base hit. A slicing ball with some English off the end of the bat of MacArthur. Pass Reyes at third, and Joliet with back-to-back base hits to lead off the third inning. Bretta Johnson at second, MacArthur at first as it brings up the third baseman, Christian Fedko. Smith peeking back at second on the right side of the rubber, delivers. First pitch swung on by Fedko, ground to Mattis at second, off his glove, skids to his left. Everyone's safe. An E6 by Mattis. That could have been two. Instead, it's nothing. The bases are loaded with nobody out for Zach Bierman. Mattis making just his second start at shortstop this season. He's primarily been in left. 6 starts in left field for the Otters. Out short today and never cleanly fielded that baseball. So bases loaded, nobody out for Zach Bierman. Pitch home, outside 1-0. Bretta Johnson at third, MacArthur at second, Fedko at first. One of those plays maybe where you get a little ahead of yourself, start thinking double play before you even have control of the baseball. 1-0, fouled off the end of the bat, 1-1. Kind of like in football, to get back to football season where a receiver has the ball in his hands, but he's already thinking more about his next move, how he's going to evade a tackler, try to get as many yards as possible before he actually has control of the ball, and then ends up dropping the ball. He doesn't think through the whole catch. 1-1 to Bierman, lined right side and into right field, a base hit. Bretta Johnson will score. Here comes MacArthur. The throw from Baez is into second base, and MacArthur scores standing up, and Joliet cuts the lead to 1. A 2 RBI base hit for Bierman. The former Otter comes through. 2 across here in the third, and still nobody out. Fedko to second, Bierman to first, and the Otters pitching coach Max Peterson walking out to have a word with Zach Smith. Bretta Johnson, MacArthur led off with base hits. The air at short by Mattis, loading the bases. And Zach Bierman driving 2 in with the base hit to right. 3-2 Otters in front. Reyes had a 3-run home run in the first inning. Joliet had 2 in scoring position in the first, but Smith got out of the inning. Faced the minimum in the second. The Slammers have gotten to him here in the third. The big Randy first baseman Tommy Stevenson coming to the plate for Joliet as Max Peterson walks back to the Otters dugout. Stevenson, 4 home runs already in 7 games played as the first pitch is fouled off the end of his bat. Was released by the Stockton Ports, low A affiliate of the Oakland A's, earlier this month, and has just joined the Slammers right before the transaction deadline, and certainly been a positive influence in addition. 0-1. Looping breaking ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fedko at second, Bierman at first. Nobody out in the top of the third. Otters lead 3-2, but the Slammers threatening for a big inning. 1-1. Chopped foul, left side, 1-2. Justin Felix is going to walk out to the mound to have a quick word with Zach Smith. Pat on the back, words of encouragement. Smith just need an out right now here in the third inning. First 4 batters have reached, 3 singles and an error. 50 pitches now for Smith on this scorcher of an evening. Middle of a heat wave, and certainly getting to everyone this heat. Almost feels like it's frying your brain cells at this point. From the back half of a week-long heat wave. The 1-2 swing and a miss. Whatever Felix said worked. A big bending changeup by Smith. Stevenson way out in front. 1 out in the third, and the 4th strikeout for Zach. 1 away. Fedko still at second. Bierman at first. Brings up the catcher righty Phil Steering. Sun has set. First pitch from Smith. Misses low 1-0. Lights just starting to come into effect. A darkening orange glaze over the sky. One 0 from Smith. Fastball on the outside corner, 1-1. Middle infield shaded up the middle for the Otters. Fedko doing a lot of dancing over at second base. One to Steering. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Smith steps back to the mound, looks off in the distance. Grimace on his face. It's a big deep breath and settles back in on the first base side of the rubber. 2-1, both runners take off, pitch inside. Felix, great throw down to third, safe is Fedko. Justin Felix already threw out Mortensen back in the second inning, and he had a terrific throw down to third. Bang, bang call at third. Reyes is tagged just late. Double steal for Joliet puts 2 in scoring position. Fedko at third, Bierman at second with 1 out. A 3-1 count to Steering. First base now open. Smith home. Popped up right side. Baez a few steps in. He will make the catch. Here comes Fedko. Now he stops. Felix picks it up, and Fedko races back to the third base bag. 2 outs, and what a throw from Jeffrey Baez in right. Baez has a terrific arm, and it's something he works on a lot. Earlier this week, he was working with Yomar Reyes, Otters' third baseman, making throws from right to third, and certainly paid off there. A bowl of it to throw home, and Fedko took a couple steps home, and then as soon as he saw the throw coming, realized he'd be out by a mile. So 2 outs, and it brings up the lefty batter, Brock Mortensen. Fedko at third, Bierman at second. 3-2 Otters lead. First pitch to Mortensen, misses high, 1-0. 2 across for Joliet, but if Smith can get out of this inning without more damage and Otters lead still intact, have to call that a victory. 1-0 from Smith. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. 60th pitch, 61st pitch for Zach Smith here in the third inning. Omar Reyes, a 3-run home run in the first for the Otters. Joliet fighting back here in the third with the series on the line. 1-1. Lined right side and into the gap, a base hit. Fedko will score. Bierman held at third as Baez's throw comes into home to Felix. But the Slammers have tied the ball game. An RBI base hit by Mortensen on a drive to right scores Fedko. 3 across in the third. It's a 3-3 ball game. I'll bring up the left fielder Lane Baremore, the 8th batter of the inning for Joliet. Bierman at third, Mortensen at first. Baremore struck out his first time up in the seconds. Otters bullpen still motionless. Smith looking for the last out of the inning. First pitch home is grounded left side right to Yomar Reyes at third. He tosses to second for the force out as Bo steps on the bag to retire the side. 8 batters come to the plate in the third for Joliet. They score 3 on 4 singles and an error in strand 2. Middle of the third, it's Joliet 3, Evansville 3 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Otters are back tomorrow. It's a bike helmet giveaway and fireworks sponsored by Ascension. Sunday, Teacher Appreciation Night powered by the EVSC Foundation. And Sunday, the regular season home finale here at the ballpark. Dog Days of Summer and a 12:35 first pitch time. Tickets at EvansvilleOtters.com.
Bottom 3 from Bosse, tied at 3 between the Otters and the Slammers. 3 in the first, a Yomar Reyes home run for the Otters. But the Slammers answer back in the top of the third inning. Not going to go down with the fight with the series on the line. 4 singles in the third inning to get 3 runs across. Now it's the Otters' turn to answer in the bottom of the third. Jeffrey Baez will lead off for Evansville. Otters righty batting right fielder. Turner Larkins readies and delivers home. First pitch misses low to Baez, 1-0. Tequila playing over the speakers on a scorcher of a Thursday night in a Budweiser Thirsty Thursday here at Bosse. The 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. I don't know why, but there's so many songs about tequila. Seems like there's more songs about tequila than there is any other kind of liquor, maybe even beer. 2-0. Right down the middle. 2 balls and 1 strike, especially popular songs about tequila. Not sure why. Interesting food for thought, or maybe drink for thought, as the 2-1, a strike on the outside corner. 2-2 to Baez. It's a good night for a cold drink. Cheap beer and liquor here at Bosse. You can get a margarita if you want here at Bosse. The 2-2 to Baez is popped up into right, drifting over the right fielder. Mortensen reaches up and makes the snare. 1 away in the third.
Center fielder, number 19.
1 out, it brings up the lefty center fielder, Kona Quiggle. We're tied at 3 in the bottom of the third inning. Larkins around and home. Quiggle shows bunt and pulls it back, but it sails in for a strike anyways, 0-1. Fetco is ready, racing down the third base line. Lights about into 50% effect here. The sun just set at Bosse. The 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Good crowd on a very hot Thursday night. A lot of people have probably tried to barely leave their house or go from one cold building to another cold building to avoid the heat as Quiggle fouls one off the screen, 1-2. I think it's a little bit cooler in the evening, and you know, baseball is meant to be played in hot weather. Why not come to the ball game on a hot night and cold drinks? Cool you down a little bit. You got to get outside eventually. It's not healthy to stay inside forever. 1-2, swing and a miss. Fastball up, Quiggle strikes out. And Turner Larkins settling in. He's retired 6 in a row. make it third strikeout of the evening. The Otters had 4 straight batters reach in the first, including the 3-run home run by Reyes. Larkin's got the last out of that inning, a 1-2-3 second. Now the first 2 down in the third. First pitch to Reyes, back up for the first time since his 3-run blast. Sails outside for a ball, 1-0. Swing and a miss, a fastball up, 1-1. Outfield straight away for Joliet with 2 outs and nobody on. 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error for Evansville. 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors for Joliet. Larkins delivers. Reyes chops one right side. In the second base, McGarry collects, tosses to first, beats Reyes by a few strides. And the Otters are sound down in order in the third inning. It's Joliet 3, Evansville 3 after 3 innings played. You're listening to Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and watching on Flow Sports.
CQK, you're blocking an entrance and exit to the Crawford door parking lot. You need to move your car. Again, this is a Nissan Blue Pathfinder, Ward County and Indiana plates, 758 CQK. You are blocking an entry and exit way to the Crawford door parking lot. You do need to move your vehicle immediately, and we do thank you for your cooperation. Once again, a blue Nissan Pathfinder, Indiana plates, 758 CQK. If that is your vehicle blocking the entry and exit to the Crawford or parking lot, you need to move it.
Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is presented by Old National Bank. Your success is everything. Reaching the tail end of the Frontier League season on a hot August night. Game 86 of 96 for the Otters. Game 87 of 96 for Joliet. Otters have a doubleheader slated for next week against Gateway. They'll play 7 games next week. Slammers, just 3 more series of 3 each remaining after tonight. The series is on the line here. We're tied at 3 after playing 3 innings of baseball. First pitch by Smith is to Matt McGarry, who swings and chops at third base. Side glove by Omar Reyes, tosses to first, and beats McGarry there to the bag. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 4th inning. Brings up Tyler DePreda Johnson with the bases empty in the 4th and 1 out. What a week for TDJ, Tyler DePreda Johnson. SoCal native, only hitting .215 on the year, but he has 5, make it 6 hits now on the week. The first pitch home in for his strike at the knees. 3 for 4 with an RBI and a run on Tuesday. 2 for 4 yesterday, and a base hit, and came around to score the first run of the game for Joliet in the 3rd inning. 0-1. Bounces in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. One on the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes. DePreda Johnson, a Slammers mainstays in his 3rd year now with Joliet. He's played over 200 games now in a Slammers uniform. The 1-2 misses low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Started with them in 2021. He was in the Texas Rangers organization for 2 seasons after being drafted in 2018 in the 35th round by the Rangers out of Houston Christian University. Houston Baptist University. It's the Huskies. 2-2 popped up into right field, taking Baez back. Reaches up and makes the jogging catch a few steps from the track. 2 away. DePreda Johnson retired for the first time tonight. The Southland Conference Houston Baptist is in. 2 outs, back to the top of the order. Liam MacArthur, the center fielder. It's college night here at the ballpark. USI, University of Southern Indiana, University of Evansville, both school back in session this week. First pitch to Liam MacArthur is a strike at the knees. I live around the University of Evansville. Certainly the streets are buzzing with activity from more cars and more students moving in. It's an exciting time. 0-1 inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Seen a fair amount of college-looking students. They look like college students that are around the ballpark today. Great way to get yourself introduced to Evansville coming to an Otters game. The 1-1 by MacArthur is fouled back to the screen. 2 outs, nobody on. Top 4 tied at 3. Smith, after giving up 3 runs in the third, looking for a bounce-back 4th inning. One, two. Grounded up the middle, off the glove of Smith, bats it down, back at the grass, picks it up, throws to first in time to get MacArthur. A comebacker, and Smith stuck out the glove and was able to bat it back down to the grass, composed himself and made the throw to first. A 1-2-3 4th inning for Zach Smith. Middle of the 4th, tied at 3 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Thirsty Thursday. We're looking for some Screaming Eagles. We're looking for some Purple Aces. There's some Purple Aces right there. And we're looking for those still in college in their hearts. The Hoosiers, the Boilermakers. I'm also told the Mighty Oaks of Oakland City University, the softball team, is also here. Great to have them here at Bossy Field. Enjoy your Otters game night experience on college nights.
Welcome back to Southwest Indiana on a scorching Thursday night here at historic Bossy Field. The series on the line between the Slammers and the Otters. Evansville's magic number down to 5 to make the Frontier League playoffs. A win tonight, and it's down to 3. Tie ball game as we move to the bottom of the 4th between Joliet and Evansville. Dakota Phillips leads off for the Otters. It's pretty much into full effect now on this Thursday night. Been sunny skies all day and probably the hottest day all year here in Evansville. First pitch home to Dak, misses low for no. Catches the bottom corner for a strike. 0-1. Call from Chris Dykeman behind home plate. Kevin Furman's at third. Robert Davis at first today. 0-1. Chopped off the end of the bat. 1-1. Larkins out of the windup, delivers. Phillips flies it left side and foul into the party deck. Dak playing in his 265th game as an Otter today. He's moving up a bunch of lists in the franchise record books. 0-2 home. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's now 7 games away from moving into the 3rd most games played all time in team history, and he will likely set that next week. The Otters have 10 games left to play after today. It means that the first game at Schaumburg in that final series, as Phillips takes low 2-2, he would move into the 3rd most games played all time in Otters history, only behind 2 Otters legends in John Schultz and Josh Allen. Chris Dykeman, I think, has got some dirt in his eye. Wiping off, resetting before getting back behind home plate. 2-2 from Larkins. Fouled off the screen. All the games played for Dak over 4 years with the Otters, starting in 2019. Rising up the record books in other categories as well. Another 2-2. Swing and a miss. Big changeup strikes out Phillips. One away in the bottom of the fourth. If you have a group of friends or coworkers that wish to come to historic Bosse Field and enjoy an Otters home game, contact the Otters front office to reserve a party deck on the Corona Extra patio deck. Corona Extra patio deck is one of the best places to watch a game with an all-you-can-eat menu and unlimited bottled water and soft drinks. Call 812-435-8686 for more information on how you can book your next celebration. First pitch, Ethan Skinder is fouled away. More strikeouts now for Larkins. He is dealing. He's retired 8 in a row. 0-1, bounces in front of home plate, 1-1. Just really good bounce back from a first inning that didn't go well at all for Larkins. Harold Myers worked a 10-pitch at bat to get a base hit after a strikeout to Baez. 4 straight Otters reached. 3-run home run by Yomar Reyes. Here's the 0-1. Looping breaking ball at the knees for a strike 0-2. Phillips and Skinner fall with a double and a single. Had to think, oh boy, here we go for the Otters. A crooked first, and Larkins could be out of this game in no time, but he got Felix to fly out to end the inning, and since then hasn't allowed a base runner. He's looked much more like his dominant self. 1-2, inside, and Skinner backs out of the way to avoid being nailed. 2-2. Pitch home, popped up off the end of the bat is Skinner, right center field. This could be tough. Racing in is MacArthur and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Caught up long enough for the speedy Slammers center fielder. The second out.
Number 5, Justin Felix.
2 away. The base is empty for the Otters catcher, Justin Felix, taking into the right-handed batter's box. 74th pitch of the ball game for Larkins. Skips into home plate, 1-0. Larkins home. Check swing by Felix. Pitch is low. Appeal down to first. Robert Davis says he held up 1-1. Two and 0 on the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. Larkins, in his 3rd year with the Slammers. Back-to-back strong seasons. Had an ERA under 4 last year. There's over 100 innings pitched from the mound this season. 2-1. Inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. With Tri-City at the start of 2021 before joining the Slammers in the back half of the season. Drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays out of Texas A&M in 2017. 3-1 on the inside corner, a full count. Worked his way all the way up to AAA Buffalo for 1 appearance in 2019, but was released during COVID, and he's been in the Frontier League pretty much ever since. Full count to Felix with the bases empty and 2 outs. Texas A&M Aggie delivers home. It's at the knees, strike 3 called. Felix rung up, and Turner Larkins has retired 10 in a row. 5 strikeouts, and he's in a groove after 4 innings tonight. It's the Otters and Slammers tied at 3 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Here they are, your Southwest Graphics Evansville Otters.
you have in the honor round lately, make sure you tell him hello when you do. Evan's excited to see all of our fans and encouraged to shoot of his heritage for all your banking needs. Heritage, a proud partner of Evansville Otters baseball. Third baseman 26, Christian Fedko.
Top 5 from Bosse Field. Joliet 3, Evansville 3 here on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. 3 runs on the first for the Otters. 3-run home run by Yomar Reyes. 4 singles and 3 runs for Joliet in the top of the 3rd inning. All are scoring tonight. Christian Fedko leading off for the Slammers and takes a first pitch strike at the knees. College night here at the ballpark. Fedko, former Yukon Husky. 0-1 inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. One from Smith. Fedko grounds left side 1-2. Exciting time to be a college student with classes starting up and college sports starting up as well. College football kicks off on Saturday. There's actually a fan in the stands wearing a Notre Dame football shirt. And Notre Dame will kick off the very first game of the D1 college football season against Navy in Dublin, Ireland. The 1-2 inside, and it hits Fedko. Off the hip of Fedko. He's not hurt. Instead, he's sprinting down to first base. Maybe some pain there, and instead of showing it, decides to just go in a full-on sprint and run it out. Jake Green has done that this season for the Otters. And Fedko getting in his steps today. So he reaches base for the 3rd time. Reached on an air, hit by a pitch now here in the 5th, and walked back in the 1st. Bring up Zach Bierman, who's 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI base hit back in the 3rd. Swings and misses at the first pitch from Smith. Tied at 3 here in the top of the 5th inning. Smith home. Bierman takes outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. One. Chopped off the end of the bat, and Austin Boast, who makes the catch, throw back to first, doubles up Fedko. A former Texas A&M Aggie turning a double play. Hot shot right at Boast, and Fedko thought that'd get through, started taking off, and couldn't get back to first in time. What a sharp play by the Otters rookie at second base. 2 outs, base is cleared for Tommy Stevenson, who takes away for a ball 1-0. Boast has played a really strong second base for the Otters since joining the squad. Certainly seen some other players that have been brought in by the Otters on the infield and haven't worked out. Stevenson takes low 2-0, and some of it's been maybe looking a little uncomfortable fielding at the professional level, and Boast has certainly not been phased at all. It's hard to, I can't remember any mistake he's made at second base all season. And in fact, he's made a lot of above average plays where it's double plays or just great instincts there to make a catch and then quickly throwing back to first to double up a runner. Stevenson takes his strike 2-1. Boast making his 14th start with the Otters. They've all been at second base. That's where he played pretty much all of this past season under Jim Schlossnagel at Texas A&M. Stevenson swings and misses 2-2. 2-2 count, 2 outs, base is empty, top 5, tied at 3. Pitch home, check swing off the end of the bat as Stevenson rolls down the third base line and kicks foul as Reyes picks it up. That ball somehow stayed fair to pretty much where the grass ends, close to the third base bag, before finally kicking off that lip on an all-natural surface to the left. Long walk back for Stevenson to the plate. Lights into full effect on this hot Thursday night. Another 2-2. This is low and a full count to Stevenson. To Missouri Southern State. I bet you haven't heard of that school. NAIA school in Joplin, Missouri. Full count to Stevenson. Smith home. Outside corner, strike three called. Fastball at 90 miles per hour rings up Stevenson. Fifth German-American bank strikeout for Smith, with Bose turning the double play, doubling up Fedco. Smith and the Otters face the minimum in the fifth. Middle of the fifth inning, halfway through baseball tonight. We're tied at 3 between Joliet and Evansville on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Bottom 5 from Bosse Field. Evansville and Joliet tied at 3 on a hot Thursday night. Series on the line this evening. Otters trying to win 3 series in a row for just the second time this season. You have to go back to the Otters' 8-game win streak in the second week of the season. The last time the Otters won 3 series in a row. Took both series on the road for the first time this season on a 6-game road trip last week. They're dropping the opener to Joliet. Looking to take these last 2. Austin Bose will lead off the bottom of the 5th for the Otters. They're going to have to try to figure out Turner Larkins. They don't have a base runner against Larkins since the first inning. Righty home. First pitch strike into Bose. 2 former Texas A&M players facing off here. Larkins graduated long before Bose was in College Station. A 1 from Larkins. Popped up out of play, 1-1. 10 straight retired by Turner Larkins. Going back to the first inning. Omar Reyes had a 3-run home run. Phillips and Skinner had hits. And Larkins got out of the inning and hasn't put a base runner on since. 0-2 home. Sails high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Larkins out of the windup, flutters the glove, turns and throws. Swing and a miss. Both strikes out, 1 away. For landscape design that is truly unique, look to locally owned Wild Horticulture. Whether you need a team to design and construct a large-scale landscape project for your business, or looking to create an epic backyard retreat complete with plants, water, and light installation, the experienced team at Wild can take your ideas to the next level. You've likely seen their creative work all over town. Gary Mattis takes the first pitch low for a ball. Wild Horticulture has the skills and resources to deliver inspiring spaces and bring your ideas to life. Have a project in mind? Find them on Instagram, wildspaces.com. 1-0 to Mattis, inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Six strikeouts now for Larkins. He's allowed 4 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk. Mattis swings and lines one into left center field. MacArthur racing back and will play it off the wall. Mattis hustling to second, takes a turn there and will hold a stand-up double for Gary Mattis. And the Otters finally with a base runner. The 11 in a row retired streak ends for Larkins. Mattis doubles off the base of the wall and left. 10th hit of the season for Mattis, this new addition for the Otters in August. He's in scoring position and brings up Noah Myers. That guy you'd want now. Myers with a base hit back in the first. Has 5 hits in this series. Maybe the hottest hitter right now in the whole league. Larkin's first pitch home to Myers, grounded up the middle. Diving is the second baseman, McGarry to get it. Throw to first. In time, Matt McGarry back-to-back times robbing Myers of a base hit. This one even more impressive than his last play. Full sprawl up the middle to glove it. Quickly standing back up. And the throw beating Myers by a millisecond. Wow. McGarry a little bit slow getting back up. He's got dirt basically head to toe all over his jersey. Mattis goes to third with 2 outs. Jeffrey Baez stands up and takes a pitch low. Really been impressed by this Joliet infield all series. Tyler DeBretta Johnson at short, Christian Fedko at third have been great, and McGarry has been special today at second base. 1-0. Baez pops up into right. Morrison back, circling under the baseball, reaches up the glove, and makes the catch. A leadoff double, or a double with 1 out in the 5th for Gary Mattis, but the Otters strained him there. Still tied at 3 after 5 innings. You're listening to Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and watching on Flow Sports.
Really cold with subs right now. It's Jersey Mike's Build a Sub. Ben over on this side, Tyler over on that side. They're going to have to go 10 times around on the old easy bat. Then they got to try to make a sub. And they got to ditch it off to one of the Otter Bells to try to win a prize. Are we ready to go? I think we're all ready. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go! 10 times round on the dizzy bat. That is the first task at hand. We're about done, and there goes Ben. I thought Ben just keeps going. I just think he loves the dizzy bat. He doesn't care about the sub anymore. Tyler has his assembled. He hands off. There's your winner. Poor Ben's still trying to put the sandwich together. Give them both a nice round of applause. Hilarity ensues. And the only way to top the sandwich is real red wine vinegar. It's made from red grapes and no food coloring. The only way to get it is at Jersey Mike's, because authentic ingredients make a sub of both. Hey, where are they? Oh yeah, 939 North Burkhart Road in Evansville.
The catcher, 5, Philip Steering.
Top 6 from Bosse Field, all tied at 3 between the Otters and the Slammers. Phil Steering leads off for Joliet. Zach Smith back to work for Evansville. He's allowed 3 runs on 5 hits. First pitch to Steering is hammered high in the air to left. If it stays fair, it does. Goodbye. Phil Steering destroying a baseball just to the right of the left field foul pole, 393 feet, and it's 4-3, Slammers in front. Steering putting a number into that baseball right down the line. Just a case of fair or foul. Fourth home run of the season for the Slammers catcher, and they take their first lead of the ball game. A 4-3 lead here in the sixth. Lefty Brock Mortensen up, takes outside 1-0. First extra base hit of the game for Joliet. A home run by Steering. 1-0, check swing by Mortensen, and it nearly hit off his foot, bounced right in front of it. Held up. No, he did not hold up, went around 1-1. 4 unanswered by the Slammers to take the lead. Pitch home from Smith. Chopped foul off the front of the foot of Mortensen, 1-2. Hot night here at Bosse Field. Wonder how the players will react to everything. Heavy heat. Almost nobody is happy about it, except for Otters pitching coach Max Peterson. When I asked him, and he says, I love the heat. He's from California, played his college ball in California. He's having a blast. The 1-2, outside corner, strike 3 call. Mortensen strikes out looking, 1 out. Six strikeout for Smith. They'll bring up Lane Baremore as 0 for 2 today. 1 out, base is empty. In the top of the 6th inning, a solo blast by Phil Steering for Joliet, giving them a 4-3 lead. Smith home to Baremore, swinging and a miss, so 1. Fans in attendance today have a lot of different devices to keep them cool. A couple have, call them fan necklaces, basically. There's 2 fans on the end of a band that hangs at their neck. The 0-1. Looking ball misses low. 1 ball and 1 strike. And 2 sets of fans that blow around their face to keep them cool. And they can also, you press a button, they'll squirt a little mist and a little cool wetness to keep you cool. A couple of fans I've seen in the stands with that contraption. The 1-1, a strike at the letters. Well, battery power. It's got a light on the back blinking. There's other fans just carrying normal fans. I guess small, but just a typical small fan blowing in their face. Trying to get some more cold air on a hot, humid night. 1-2, misses low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Even though it's fully into complete darkness now, 86 degrees, but humidity making it feel like 94, even though it's past 8 o'clock at night. 2-2. Chopped up the middle past the glove of Smith into right center field. Baremore, a comeback base hit. It's the 7th hit of the night for Joliet.
Second baseman.
Smith stuck out the glove, but it just sneaked by his glove and right up the middle. Baremore's first hit of the evening. He's at first with 1 out. And it brings up Matt McGarry, the ready second baseman for Joliet. A lot of fans have ice cream and cold drinks as well. That's the other solution to this hot weather. Pitch home to McGarry. Breaking ball outside, 1-0. It's time for a check of the Frontier League scoreboard, brought to you by WJPS 107.1. Gateway in a series decider against Windy City. Played 2 extra inning ball games to start that series. Gateway took the first one on Tuesday, and then Windy City come from behind, win, trailed by 1 in the 9th. Got a home run to tie us. McGarry takes outside 2-0, won it in the 10th. Kind of spoiled the festivities at Grizzlies Ballpark. They still clinched a playoff spot with the Otters winning, but a weird way to do it on a tough loss at the same time. But Gateway up 6-1 tonight against Windy City, top 4 in Sojay. The 2-1 is lined into left field, a base hit. 3 hops in front of Myers. And McGarry keeps the hit parade going here in the 6th. It's the 3rd hit of the inning, and back-to-back singles have 2 on with 1 out in the 6th as the shortstop Tyler DePreta Johnson comes to the plate. That's 100 pitches flat for Zach Smith. And the Otters pitching coach Max Peterson walking out to have a word with the Evansville righty. Otters bullpen is getting moving. Parker Brahms is warming up in the Otters bullpen. Guy's been a starter all season, came out of the bullpen for the first time for an inning on Tuesday. And looks like he might be the first guy out of the pen here for the Otters in the sixth. Evansville used 4 arms yesterday. Arguably their 4 best arms in their pen at this point in the year. John Beamer, Kevin Davis, Leone De La Cruz, and Jake Polancic. Granted, Polancic needed just 1 pitch to earn the save, but it's a pretty tired Otters bullpen that's used all 7 arms in their pen over the first 2 days. So 2 on, 1 out. Now it's the ready. Tyler DePretta Johnson. First pitch from Smith slipped, and Felix, good read to hop up out of his crouch and make a jumping grab to avoid it going back to the backstop. DePretta Johnson just ducked out of the way. Smith peeks back at second at Barrymore. McGarry's at first and delivers inside again, 2-0. Smith's high 111 pitches thrown this season. He's now at 102. 2-0. Fastball high again. 3-0 to DePretta Johnson. Smith shakes his head. Two on, 1 out, and a 3-0 count to DePretta Johnson. 1 across for Joliet in the inning as they lead 4-3. Pitch home, inside corner, strike 1. Otters have lost 3 of the last 4 starts for Smith. Pitch home is lined into left field. This will get down for extra bases. It rolls all the way to the wall before Myers can get to it. Barrymore hustling around will score standing up. It's an RBI double for Tyler DePretta Johnson, and Joliet extends the lead to 5-3. A double down the left field line. McGarry goes to third, standing up. It's 5-3 Slammers after 3 in the third, 2 more in the sixth. Still only 1 out with 2 in scoring position. And that'll do it for Zach Smith tonight. Had some good moments. He allowed just 1 base runner in the 4th and the 5th inning. But can't get out of the 6th as the Slammers have 4 hits across and 2 runs in the inning. Parker Brahms coming in for the Otters down to the bullpen. It's a 5-3 Joliet lead with 1 out and 2 on. Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Evansville called the bullpen. Parker Brahms in to pitch. The battering Brahms is on the mound. It's behind the plate. That's powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 North Greenville Road or 812-475-9000. Tell them Zing from the Otters sent you.
Parker Brahms into the ball game for the Otters in the bottom of the, or make it the top of the 6th inning. A 5-3 lead for the Slammers over the Otters. Brahms making his 2nd appearance out of the bullpen this year. His first appearance out of the pen was on Tuesday against Joliet. He walked the first 2 batters of the inning, but then got out of his own mess with 2 strikeouts and did not allow a runner a hit on 31 pitches. It's just his 3rd appearance since the All-Star break. He's dealt with an arm injury for much of the season, 3 different stints on the injured list, and he will remain out of the bullpen the remainder of the season for the Otters, but a really good arm, 3.15 ERA and 34 and a third innings pitched. In his second year with Evansville, he's really been dominant when healthy. Faced the lefty Liam MacArthur to start his outing. Brahms home, MacArthur swings and misses. McGarry at third, DePretta Johnson at second with one out here in the sixth. 2 runs across for Joliet to take a 5-3 lead. Brahms working on the right side of the rubber, kicks and throws. Swing and a miss again. It's a fun windup to watch for Parker Brahms. There's a little extra kick and step when he finishes his windup. His left leg is just slightly faced towards the first base side, not aligned with his back foot. Small kick and then delivers home, swing and a miss. How about that out of the bullpen from Parker Brahms? 3 strikes, and MacArthur down on 3 pitches. It's a big second out for the Otters, and it brings up Christian Fedko. Brahms trying to limit the damage here. No more runs hopefully coming across from an Otters perspective here in the top of the 6th. 5-3 Slammers. And Gary at third, DePretta Johnson at second. Now it's the ready Christian Fedko. First pitch home, chop foul, third base side. Fedko has been hit by a pitch, walked and reached on an error, and later came home to score. Brahms, in a way, is a good bullpen arm to come in with a lot of runners on. He's a strikeout guy. Here's the 0-1. At the knees for a strike, 0-2. All-time strikeouts leader at Sacramento State. The Hornets. 31 strikeouts in his 34 innings pitched entering today. 295 strikeouts over 3 years with Sac State. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball up and in, strikes out Fedko, and Parker Brahms with some electricity out of the bullpen. 6 pitches to strike out both batters he faces and get the Otters out of any more trouble in the 6th inning. Middle of the 6th, it's 5-3, Joliet in front on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Who is that?
Welcome back to Bosse Field, bottom of the 6th inning, with the Slammers leading the Otters 5-3. It is very hot here tonight at Bosse Field, and home plate umpire Chris Dykman maybe feeling a little bit overheated. The Otters athletic training and doctor staff just out to check on Dykman, getting him some water, making sure he's okay. Dr. Mandy, Doc Mark Markin, and Dr. Rue Martin all checking on Chris Dykman and getting him some water. Easy to get dehydrated or overheated on a night like tonight, with still real field temperatures in the mid-90s even after sunset. First pitch to Kona Quiggle, sails low for a ball to start off the bottom of the 6th. 2 across in the 6th for the Slammers. They chase the starter Zach Smith from the game. The 1-0 inside, 2 balls and no strikes to Quiggle. Turner Larkins, after giving up 3 runs in the first inning, has been dominant. He's allowed just 1 base runner over his last 4 innings. 2-0 on the outside corner for his strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. He's at 93 pitches here in the 6th inning, closing in on a quality start. 2-1. Outside, 3 balls and 1 strike to Quiggle. Larkins doesn't like the call, shaking his head. Working out of the windup, flutters the glove, kicks and delivers. Quiggle swings and pops it up into center. MacArthur coming in a few steps, reaches up the glove and makes the catch, 1 away. Evansville Otter fans, 2023 brings new opportunities to catch all the latest Frontier League action. Be sure and check out the Frontier League and your Evansville Otters on Flow Sports, the official streaming partner of the Frontier League. Never miss a game and follow along all the way to the championship. Just visit EvansvilleOtters.com for links to watch and subscribe today for all Frontier League and Flow Sports content. First pitch to Yomar Reyes is fouled off the screen, 0-1. Back to the WJPS 107.1 out-of-town scoreboard. Gateway, a commanding 6-1 lead over Windy City, top 5 Grizzlies ballpark. The Otters 5 back of first place Gateway. The 0-1 misses outside to Reyes, 1-1. Mentioned earlier, Washington already beating Schaumburg 5-3. Wild Things take the series from the Boomers. Evansville with a win tonight would both give Schaumburg a playoff berth, but it would also bring the Otters to just 2 games back of the Boomers for second place in the West. The 1-1 misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike to Reyes. Larkins kicks and throws. Reyes fouls it off the screen again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lake Erie leading Florence 14-5. They're in the bottom of the 9th now in Florence. Otters will face the Alls this weekend, and boy, is Florence struggling. Broke a 6-game losing streak last night, but right back to their losing ways tonight. 2-2, Reyes pops up right side and will drift out of play. So your scores in the West. In the East, Sussex County trying to take this series from Trois-Rivières, keep their playoff hopes alive. They trail 4-3, top 8 against the Eagles. 2-2, grounded left side, coming in the third baseman Fedko. Gloves, throws to first, beats Reyes, 2 outs. Larkins just keeps on rolling too quickly down here in the 6th. He'll bring up Dakota Phillips. Joliet still in front, 5-3. Larkins hitting pitch number 100 on that 5-3 ground out. Pitch home to Phillips. Swing and a miss, 0-1. New Jersey up 7-3 over Ottawa. They're bottom 7 in the Canadian capital. The Jackals trying to avoid the sweep. Be a big win for them, competing for seeding atop the East. The 0-1 on the outside corner, 0-2 to Phillips. New York and Empire State are in a second rain delay. New York leads Empire State 1-0 top second. This game that's been delayed a couple times, but New York is going to do everything possible to finish that ball game because they expect to beat Empire State, sweep the Grays, and need every game they can get, try to sneak into the playoffs. The 0-2 swing and a miss. Phillips down on strikes, and Turner Larkins. 1-2-3 sends them down in the 6th inning. Over his last 5 innings of work, he's allowed just 1 base runner and now 7 strikeouts on the evening. After 6 played tonight from Evansville, it's Joliet 5, Evansville 3 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is presented by Working Distributors Evansville. Top 7 from Bossy. It's a 5-3 lead for Joliet over Evansville. Slammers looking to take this series tonight and keep the Otters' magic number at 5 to make the playoffs. Give the Slammers a glimmer of hope. Try to make the playoffs. Joliet 13-7 in the month of August. They've had a terrific final month of the season after not really finding a whole lot of consistency through the first few months. Zach Bierman will lead things off for Joliet in the top of the 7th. Parker Brahms got the last 2 outs of the 6th inning. Fires the first pitch high to Bierman. That's his first ball thrown. Brahms came in the 6th with 2 in scoring position, 1 out, and struck out both batters he faced on 3 strikes. 1-0. At the knees for a strike, 1-1. I mean, say he came in, nobody on, nobody out, he would have been a batter away from immaculate inning. 1-1 from the righty. Popped up left side. Reyes will give it a look, but he'll drift out of play.
Overhead ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Brahms steps off. Will reset. Can give the Otters some length, but on a pitch limit of around 40 to 50 pitches. He comes back from the arm injury he's been dealing with most of the year. 1-2. Popped up left side, now to play. He's not in a position where he can start and be guaranteed to stay healthy. Obviously going to do everything to keep a player's health and safety in mind. 1-2, grounded right to Mattis at shortstop. Gloves, side steps, throws to first, scooped off the dirt by Phillips. Good stretch at first. 1 out.
This is the first baseman, 46, Tommy Stevenson.
Brings up Tommy Stevenson, who struck out 3 times today. 1 out, nobody on here in the 7th. Brahms home. Oh, he tripped on the mound. It somehow still was a good pitch, a breaking ball into the zone that Stevenson fouls away. Brahms tripped and had to hold him himself with his hand to avoid falling down. A little slippage on a humid night. Everything's a little bit damp. 0-1. Fastball on the inside corner for a strike. 0-2 to Stevenson. Oh, 2 from Brahms. Grounded left side again, right to Mattis. Plays on a high hop throw to first. Much easier into the glove of Phillips. 2 outs in the 7th. 4 up, 4 down for Brahms. Brings up Phil Steering. He had the go-ahead solo home run for Joliet back in the 6th. A 2-run 6th inning for the Slammers. They've scored 5 unanswered to take a 5-3 lead. 5 runs on 9 hits, no errors for Joliet. 3 runs on 5 hits. 1 error for Evansville. Brahms home to Steering. Bounces in the dirt, 1-0. Some pitchers are going to be used to throwing in the heat and others aren't. Brahms certainly is a guy used to throwing in the heat, playing 3 years at Sac State, growing up in Southern California. Another 1-0 on the inside corner, 1-1. Sacramento. You reach the summer months, you can have days go by without a high not being in the hundreds. The 1-1 is ripped down the left field line, but well foul, 1-2. Now, the humidity is not typically much of a factor on the West Coast when it gets hot out. I was talking with Johan Castillo as well, who made the start yesterday for the Otters. He pitched, had a couple appearances this summer in the Southern California Collegiate League in Palm Springs, one of the hottest parts of all of the U.S. Very dry, hot heat. but no humidity. 1-2 to Steering. Inside corner, ring 'em up. Fastball, caught a strike to ring up Steering. A 1-2-3 7th for Brahms out of the bullpen. He's retired all 5 batters he's faced with 3 strikeouts. We'll stretch. It's 5-3 Joliet over Evansville on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Final 7th inning stretch of the season on a Thursday night here at Bosse Field. Series on the line between the Otters and the Slammers. 5-3 lead for Joliet over Evansville. The home plate umpire, Chris Dykman, is getting some attention again from Dr. Mandy Flagg and Dr. Mark Martin, the Otters athletic training staff. Some water, cool towel around his neck. And believe they are going to make a change behind the plate and get Chris Dykman into some air conditioning. It is hot out, very hot and humid, and no relief if it's gotten darker, and certainly sweating behind home plate. Don't want to overheat. So, going to make a change. Either Kevin Furman or Robert Davis will move behind the plate. And need to get some new gear on whoever is going behind home plate to have the chest protector to be a home plate umpire. So it's going to lead to a little bit of a delay here for the bottom of the 7th starts. 5-3 lead for Joliet over Evansville. Otters got off to an early lead, bottom of the 1st inning. It was Yomar Reyes with a 3-run home run with 2 outs in the 1st. Dakota Phillips and Skinderfeld with a double and a single. Thought it'd be a big night for the Otters offense. With 4 hits, 5 base runners in that 1st inning, the 3-run blast by Reyes, but they have gotten nothing since. Gary Mattis, the only base runner over the last 5 innings for the Otters, just a double by Mattis in the 5th inning. And on 103 pitches, Larkins 7 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 earned runs in 6 innings. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is presented by Bud Light. Certainly could all use a cool one tonight. Still waiting for a new home plate umpire to emerge. People believe it will be Robert Davis coming out to take Chris Dykman's place behind the plate, and we'll stay with just 2 umpires for the remainder of this ball game. So the Otters offense, not much since the 1st inning. It will be Robert Davis coming behind the plate to ump. Kevin Furman was the 3rd base umpire. He'll be the only field umpire. Robert Davis was at 1st. He'll move behind home plate. Joliet got 3 across in the 3rd to tie the ball game. DePretta Johnson continued his big week. The leadoff base hit. Slammers would load the bases, another hit in an air, and then Zach Bierman would drive in 2 on an RBI base hit. Brock Mortensen would drive in another run for the third run of the game to tie it at 3. Slammers would get back to business in the 6th. Phil Steering a go-ahead solo home run. And then 3 straight hits for Bearmore McGarry and Tyler DePrez Johnson, an RBI double. Making it 5-3 Joliet. Parker Brahms electric out of the bullpen for the Otters. 5 up, 5 down to keep the lead at just 2. But the Otters needing to try to figure out Turner Larkins or get him out of this ball game. Another check of the Frontier League out-of-town scoreboard, mentioning a couple scores. Lake Erie has held on to beat Florence 14-10. The Crushers have only won 2 road series all year. They've both been at Florence. Jackals and Titans are now tied at 7 in the bottom of the 7th. That would be a really disappointing loss for the Jackals to get swept up at Ottawa. The last score we did mention, Quebec and Tri-City in a big series. They're not going to be able to play the game tonight. It's been rained out in Troy, New York. So that means that Tri-City and Quebec are only going to play 95 games this season. That could certainly play a factor in the standings over the next week. So if New Jersey loses, they fall a game back of Quebec. Tri-City remaining 2 back of Quebec entering the weekend, and the Boulders have just gotten back underway against Empire State. 1-0 lead for the Boulders over the Grays, top second in Pomona after they had an hour rain delay after the game started in a delay for the first hour and a half. It's going to be a late night in Rockland County. Still waiting for Robert Davis to emerge with the new gear, placing Chris Dykeman behind the plate, who had to exit, getting overheated on this hot Thursday night. 5-3, Slammers over the Otters. Will step aside real quickly and be back on the other side. 5-3, Slammers in front with getting ready for the bottom of the 7th inning. You're listening to Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and watching on Flow Sports.
Fireworks powered by Ascension, Saturday Teacher Appreciation Night. Now behind home plate, Robert Davis. Designated hitter, number 1, Ethan Skinner.
Welcome back to Bosse Field, bottom of the 7th inning. 5-3 Joliet lead over Evansville. Ethan Skinner at the plate, pops up, pitch down the right field line over the head of Stevenson and foul. 0-2. He took a first pitch strike. About a 5-minute delay here at Bosse Field as the home plate umpire Chris Dykeman had to exit the game due to overheating. Robert Davis moves behind home plate. And it's just Kevin Furman now in the field. Just 2 umpires remaining for this game here at Bosse. 0-2 count to Skinner with the bases empty in the bottom of the 7th. Turner Larkins home, and Skinner slices it foul again, right over the Otters bullpen and into the seats. It's 106 pitches now for Turner Larkins, and there is a righty just starting to throw in the Joliet pen. 0-2 to Skinner. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped it into the glove of Steering. 8th strikeout for Larkins. He is dealing tonight, and as long as he feels good, I don't think Dan Schlereth, the Slammers manager, is bringing him out of the ballgame. Brings up Justin Felix with 1 out and nobody on. Felix is 0 for 2 today. Another guy used to the heat. Felix from Rio Rico, Arizona. Close to the Mexico border near Tucson. First pitch cut on and missed, 0-1. Felix spent time at Arkansas State, but also at New Mexico Military Institute. Gets pretty hot down in New Mexico. 0-1. Check swing by Felix. He went around, 0-2. Just 1 base runner for the Otters since the first inning. For late arriving fans here at Bosse, they've really had nothing to cheer about. 3-run homer by Reyes in the first, just a double by Matt since. Otters have only 1 walk today, which was back in the first inning. Larkins flutters the glove, turns, big kick, and a delivery. High, 1-2. Evie Ruibol, big righty who pitched an inning of work on Tuesday, is warming in the Joliet pen. 1-2. Inside corner, strike 3 called. Change up. Freezes Felix, strikeout number 9 for Larkins. He's retired the last 3 batters all by the K. 2 outs, nobody on for Austin Boast. Larkins is shoving right now here at Bosse Field. This has been impressive to watch. So it makes this Joliet team a dangerous team. It might be too little too late this year. First pitch to Boast is fouled away, 0-1. All along, this is a very strong starting rotation, starting with Cole Cook. Larkins a strong arm. Tyler J has been a starter at times this season. They moved him into the closer role, but he's a former first-round draft pick by the Twins. A lot of really good arms in this Joliet pen, and they just struggled so much offensively the first half of the season. The 0-1 swung on and missed 0-2. Pretty much the whole first half of the season were dead last in the league in batting average, and they've been so much better in the month of August. 13-7, have 3 sweeps in the month, but most likely just going to run out of time. If the season was maybe 2 weeks longer, maybe the Slammers able to catch one of the other teams in the West and sneak into the playoffs. The 0-2 misses high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Win tonight for the Slammers, and they move to 5.5 back for the Otters for the last playoff spot. It's possible, but still very unlikely for Joliet with just 9 games left to play. 5.5 back with 9 left. That's a tough task, especially when the Slammers don't play the Otters again. The 1-2 misses low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch home from Larkins. Inside and a full count to Boast. Slammers will face Windy City this weekend. They're then at Washington and home against Florence. A 9-game road trip at the end of the year, not easy. Payoff to Boast. Popped up right side and out of play. And Joliet's other problem we talked about on Tuesday, it's been on the road. Slammers have just 2 road series wins this year. Sweep of Schaumburg, sweep of Lake Erie. 13-25 on the road. It's tough to get into the playoffs when you're 8 games under 500 on the road. Payoff home, swing and a miss. Change up again by Turner Larkins. 10 strikeouts, just 1 base runner allowed over 7 his last 6 innings, and his 5th perfect inning. After 7, it's Joliet 5, Evansville 3 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
And over on the other side of the red is the birthday boy, Cade. Cade, the birthday boy. Best 2 out of 3 for him until somebody passes out the pizza. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, Is the birthday boy or Kevin Davis's little brother? All right, I tell you what, we might have time for one more quickie here.
Thanks, Stephen, and taking over for the rest of the game on the public address system, Mr. Matthew Well.
Top 8 from Bosse Field, a 5-3 lead for Joliet over Evansville. Time to take a look at the upcoming schedules for both teams. We just mentioned Joliet's Otters will host Florence this weekend to 6:35 first pitches on Friday and Saturday, 12:35 on Sunday before the Otters hit the road for a 7-game road trip to end the season at Gateway on Tuesday, 6:45 first pitch before they'll play 2 7-inning games on Wednesday at Gateway. Mentioned Joliet at Windy City this weekend, then at Washington next week. Part of a 9-game road trip here in the back half of the year. Brock Mortensen swings to the first pitch from Parker Brahms. Grounds it right side Austin Bose. Throws the first, 1 pitch, 1 out of the 8th. What relief out of the bullpen by Parker Brahms. Came in with 2 on and 1 out in the 6th. Struck out both batters. Needed just 3 pitches apiece. And has yet to allow a base runner on his tap. He's retired all 6 batters he's faced. The first pitch home to Lane Bearmore, and for a strike on a looping breaking ball on the outside corner. A 1 chop foul, 0-2 to Bearmore. Just 20 pitches, 2 for Brahms. Have to watch his pitch count. He's been effective and efficient, and eating up some great innings here for the Otters, keeping them in the ball game and giving Evansville's offense a chance. There is another arm warming, now a lefty in the Slammers bullpen. The 0-2 swing and a miss. Fastball up, strikes out Bearmore. 2 away, strikeout number 4 for Brahms on the evening. Bring on Matt McGarry, the second baseman.
Second baseman, number 8, Matt McGarry.
Otters hoping that the day is done for Turner Larkins, who's over 110 pitches. 10 strikeouts and a dominant outing tonight for the righty from Texas. First pitch sails high to McGarry, 1-0. Otters will have the top of the order, too, coming up in the 8th. 1-0, fastball on the outside corner, 1-1. 5 runs on 9 hits, no errors for Joliet, 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error for Evansville. 1-1, cut on and missed. A changeup falling out of the zone, 1-2. McGarry will call time. Brahms home. It's ripped foul right side and out of play.
Another round of foul ball brought to you by Its Construction. Choose the best. Never regret.
Addis, Myers, and Baez, the top of the order coming up for the Otters in the bottom of the 8th. Brahms home, fastball, inside corner, strike 3 called. Parker Brahms, 8 up, 8 down out of the bullpen with 5 strikeouts. Otters looking for some offense. Bottom of the 8th, 5-3, Slammers in front on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Brierly is ball down. Steering behind the plate, pitcher catch battery is brought to you by the answer on repairs. Find all your battery needs at the answer on repairs. Located at 20
Chandler Brierly, a lefty, comes into the ball game for Joliet in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Otters say, thank goodness anyone else than Turner Larkins to try to give the Otters a come-from-behind victory and win the series tonight. A 5-3 Joliet lead, 5 unanswered by the Slammers, and the Otters with just 1 base runner since the first inning after scoring 3 in the first. Brierly, his 32nd appearance of the season, big lefty with a 6.65 ERA and 43 and a third innings pitched, 52 strikeouts to 33 walks. Big lefty home to Gary Mattis, who takes low 1-0. Brierly's first outing of this series. Here's the 1-0. Sails high, 2 balls and no strikes. Beg your pardon, it's second outing of his series. Pitched on Friday night, 2 innings out of the bullpen. He was good too, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. Didn't allow a hit or a base run. Otters have struggled against lefty pitchers all year. Brierly at the belt, the 2-0 is cut on, a broken bat, chopper foul. I think it's a broken bat. It sounded like one, but Mattis pats the barrel of the bat. He's gonna keep it. Make a great sound. Mattis says is the only Otters base runner since the first inning, a double in the 5th. Big lefty on the third base side of the rubber, delivers home. Inside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Otters don't have a walk since the first inning. Just 5 hits today for the Otters, 4 in the first. Joliet scoring 3 in the third, the 2 go-ahead runs in the 6th. 3-1 is ripped high in the air to left field. Baremore racing back, backpedaling, leaps up and makes the catch. Backpedal by Baremore and a little leap to take a double away from Mattis. Well, Mattis hit that as hard as possible, 103 off the bat, but it only took Baremore a few steps back to make a nifty play. 1 away, and it brings up Noah Myers. He's 1 for 3 today, but both of his outs have been impressive plays by Matt McGarry at second. First pitch to the lefty, a strikeout the letters 0-1. Noah went 3 for 4 yesterday and entered today in the month of August hitting .397. 0-1. Oh, slipped out of the hands of Brierly. Way up high, steering out of the crouch to prevent it from going to the backstop. Brierly looks back down at his hand. Little slippage on this hot, humid night. 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike, and Brierly has fallen behind another batter. Noah with 5 home runs, 16 runs in his last 13 games entering today. Looking for another big hit for the Otters in the month of August. 2-1, chopped off the end of the bat, back to the backstop. Slammers trying to earn their 3rd series victory of the year and keep their faint playoff hopes alive. Two. Outside and a full count to Myers. Noah's got such great speed, too. A stolen base today, 35 on the season. Him getting on is huge for Evansville. Brierly at the belt. The payoff. Swing and a foul tip off the end of the bat and out of the glove of steering. Oh, if he squeezed it, that was out, too. Another chance for Myers, who took Larkins 10 pitches deep in the first inning before getting a base hit. Payoff home. Inside, ball 4. Long at bat by Noah, and he works a big walk. He's aboard at first, and it brings Jeffrey Baez to the plate as the tying run. Baez 0 for 3 today, 2 flyouts and a strikeout, 2 hits on the series for the All-Star slugger. 16 home runs on the season for Baez, but just 1 in the month of August. Briley steps off, pickoff, throw back to first is bounced, a one-hopper into the glove of Stevenson, and Myers just steps back on the back. That gets by Stevenson, and with the expansive foul territory here at Bosse, Myers is probably at third base. Gotta be really careful on pickoff throws. First pitch to Baez. Strike right down the middle. Fastball in 92. 5-3 Slammers lead, bottom 8, 1 on, 1 out. Otters looking to mount a late comeback and take their 3rd straight series. Oh, 1 home. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Baez. Big deep bet from Briley comes home. A slider on the outside corner, strike 2. 1 out, 1-2 count to Baez and Myers at first. Otters looking for a spark on this hot Thursday night. 1-2, swing and a miss. Slider outside of the zone, Baez strikes out, 2 away. It'll bring up Kona Quiggle, 0 for 2 today with a walk in the first. Came around to score on the Reyes home run. A 3-run home run by Yomar Reyes in the first, the only runs today for Evansville. Briley peeks back at first. A southpaw comes home. Swing and a miss. Quiggle swinging out of his shoes on a pitch in on the hands. Kevin Davis is warming up in the Otters bullpen. He was dominant last night. Struck out the side in his outing. Quick 1-inning pitch as Quiggle takes a strike at the letters, 0-2. Righty starting to get loose in the Joliet bullpen. Briley will step off, wipe off some sweat off his leg. Looking to keep the Joliet 2-run lead intact into the 9th. 0-2. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fastball just missed in 93. First 2 series between these two have come down to the rubber match. Joliet took the first rubber match. Otters took the second. Season series coming down to this ball game. 1-2. Grounded right side and foul. There is a tiebreaker, too, in the Frontier League for playoffs. The first tiebreaker is head-to-head. Otters won this season series 6-3 last year. Joliet trying to win it here in 2023. Another 1-2 coming to Quiggle. Briley out of the windup, comes home. Inside it hits Quiggle. Off the hand of Kona. And there's 2 on for the Otters. Hit off the left hand of Quiggle. Appears to be all right. The tying run is aboard for the Otters, and the go-ahead run comes to the plate in Yomar Reyes. And Joliet's manager, Dan Schlereth, walking out to the mound to have a word with Briley. A walk and a hit by pitch. Reyes with the 3-run homer coming to the plate, and Briley's coming out of the ball game. Righty hitter coming up. They'll take the lefty out. They'll bring in a righty pitcher. Will step aside. 2 on, 2 out in the 8th. Otters trail by 2 on the Otters Digital Network. Jared Liebelt into the game for the Slammers in the bottom of the 8th inning. The tying run aboard for the Otters. The go-ahead run coming to the plate as the Otters trail 5-3 here in the 8th. Liebelt will make his 30th appearance of the season this evening. 3.69 ERA, 31 2/3 innings pitched. He's earned 5 saves on the season. He's worked as a closer. Could be a 4-save situation for Liebelt. 29 strikeouts to 15 walks. Contact guy. He comes around from the side, pretty much a half-arm slot for Liebelt. He'll face Yomar Reyes, who has a 3-run home run today, 1 for 3. Liebelt working out of the stretch, peeks back at second, comes home. A strike on a fastball on the inside corner. 89 on the fastball. Myers at second, Quiggle at first. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. The Otters trail 5-3. A 1. Popped up, right side. Racing towards the line is Mortensen under the baseball. Makes the catch to retire the side. 2 reach for the Otters, but they strand them both after 8. Joliet in front, 5-3 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
And now Indiana 811 presents the Holy Moly Shuffle. Where is Holy Moly going to be tonight? Everybody keep your eye up on the big screen. 3 piles of dirt, 1 Holy Moly. There he is in 3. He's in 1. Now he's in 2. Let's shuffle him up. He was in 2. Where is Mound 2 now? Is it 1, 2, or 3? No, it's not 7. It's 1. Thanks everybody for playing. The Holy Moly Shuffle is brought to you by Indiana 811. Free service that can prevent costly damages done to ground utilities. Know what's below? Call 811 or visit 811now.com. At least 2 full working days before every digging project, no matter how large or how small.
Top 9 from Bosse Field. 5-3 lead for Joliet over Evansville. Series on the line on this Thursday evening. The Slammers have scored 5 unanswered. Got out of a threat by the Otters in the 8th. Parker Brahms will remain out for Evansville here in the 9th inning to try to keep the lead at just 2 for the Otters going to the bottom of the 9th. Tyler DePretta Johnson ready leads off for Joliet. Brahms home. DePretta Johnson pops it up on the infield. Shortstop Gary Mattis over just behind the second base bag, reaches up and makes the catch. 1 out. Parker Brahms, what can he say at this effort out of the bullpen?
The center fielder, number 20.
He has retired 9 in a row. He's faced everyone in the Slammers lineup now. Retired all 9 on 5 strikeouts. He's needed just 28 pitches for it. Kevin Davis was warming up in the Otters bullpen, but Evansville deciding to leave Brahms in. First pitch to the lefty Liam MacArthur, taken for a strike. Certainly resting the Otters' arms with 3 more games to go this week against Florence this weekend. The 0-1. Brahms tripped again a little bit on the bump. 1-1. Otters in the bottom of the 9th inning will have Phillips, Skinder, and Felix due up. 6, 7, and 8 in the Evansville lineup. 1-1, popped up by MacArthur in shallow center. Racing in is Quiggle under the baseball. Makes the catch, 2 away.
The third baseman, number 26, Christian Fedko.
Christian Fedko, third baseman, comes up for Joliet. 2 outs and nobody on. The go-ahead run for the Slammers. A solo home run by Steering in the 6th. Added 3 more hits in the inning, an RBI double by DePretta Johnson. 2 runs in the 6th, holding up right now for a 5-3 lead. First pitch to MacArthur, chop left side and foul. 3 by the Otters in the first, the Yomar Reyes 3-run home run. Joliet scored 3 in the third, and 2 more in the sixth off Zach Smith. Parker Brahms has been the only arm needed out of the bullpen. 0-1 outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. A 1 from Parker. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. One to Fedko. Now looping, breaking ball at the knees for a strike. 1-2. Joliet trying to move to 14-7 in the month of August. Just 3 games under 500. Last year finished 2 games under 500. We're the last team left out of the West playoffs. 1-2. This is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Could be the same result this year. Finished 4.5 back of the Otters last year for the last spot in the playoffs. Otters with a win tonight move their magic number to 3. A loss, and it stays at 5 with 10 games left to play after today for Evansville. Payoff home by Fedko. Popped up down the right field line. Phillips racing back, looking up. Can't make the catch as he goes tumbling down to the grass. Fedko will have another chance. Phillips tried to make an over-the-shoulder catch. Really tough play and couldn't locate the baseball. So we'll try the payoff again after Phillips couldn't come up with the ball. Gateway's up big on Windy City, 10-3. So the Grizzlies going to get a big win. Gateway and Schaumburg play each other this weekend. And the Grizzlies have a 3-game lead over Schaumburg with 9 to play. Another payoff popped up on the right side again in foul territory. Another chance for Phillips circling under it, and this time makes the catch. What an outing out of the bullpen by Parker Brahms. 12 up, make it 11 up, 11 down. He works perfect out of the Otters bullpen, and the last chance for Evansville coming up in the bottom of the 9th. It's Phillips, Skinder, Felix due up. 5-3, Joliet in front on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Skip the line of 8 from the comfort of your own home with self-service options at Heritage. Heritage, a proud partner of the Evansville Otters. Bottom of the 9th, Otters fans, make some noise.
Bottom 9 from Bosse Field. The Slammers 3 outs away from a series victory. They lead Joliet. Joliet leads Evansville 5-3. Go to Phillips, Ethan Skinner, Justin Felix due up for the Otters here in the 9th. Justin Liebolt with 2 on and 2 out in the 8th entered. Got Yomar Reyes to fly out. He will try to complete a 4-out save for his 6th save of the season. Righty side armor. Faced the lefty Phillips. Dak had a double back in the first. He's 1 for 3 today. Liebolt on the right side of the rubber comes home. First pitch fastball outside. 1-0 to Phillips. Skinner's 1 for 3 on deck, and Felix in line to fall. He's 0 for 3. Liebolt at the belt, the 1-0. Right down the middle, 1-1. Bolt rocking back and forth. The 1-1 home. Driven into left field. Baremore racing back, looking up over his head and off the warning track. Phillips hustling to second. Here's the throw, cut off. A stand-up double for Dakota Phillips. Clapping his hands and pumped up at second base. His 30th double of the season. Second of the ball game, and that will bring the tying run to the plate in Ethan Skinder. A double off the base of the wall in left, giving the Otters a chance here in the ninth. Skinder is 1 for 3 today, a single back in the first. Corner infielders playing in for Joliet. Pitch home. Chop foul off the end of the bat and back to the backstop. First baseman Stevenson's now going to shift back, playing over to his right. The middle infielders for Joliet shaded up the middle. Outfield straight away for Skinder. 0-1. Inside corner for a strike. 0-2. Skinder will call time. Ethan had the clutch go-ahead 2-run home run for the Otters in the top of the ninth inning on Sunday at Washington when Evansville trailed by 1, and that series on the line. Come through again with another clutch hit. He has 3 hits, now 4 hits on the series. 0-2. Popped up by Skinder into left field. Baremore a few steps over to his right, drifting back under it and makes the catch. 1 away. 1 out and brings up Justin Felix. Austin Boast is on deck, and then the top of the order for the Otters. Felix 0 for 3, flown out and struck out looking twice. Otters catcher has 8 hits this season in 16 games. Liebolt home. Inside 1-0. Liebold's last save was August 12th against Gateway, also a 4-out save. Five saves on the season for the Ready Slammer. Working on the first base side of the rubber. Delivers home. Outside on a slider. 2-0 to Felix. Otters are going to get their bullpen going just in case. Bottom of the ninth, Phillips at second, 1 out, and the Otters trailing 5-3. 2-0 from Liebolt. High, 3 balls and no strikes. At the belt, kicks and throws on the inside corner, 3-1. Fastball right on the inner third at 91 from the side armor. Otters closer Jake Polancic is just starting to toss in Evansville's pen. Three-1 to Felix. The pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball at 91, and Felix was late. Phillips at second. Felix at the plate, the tying run. Payoff home. Line into center field, racing in. MacArthur will play it back on a hop. Phillips is held at third as the ball's relayed in. The Otters have the tying run aboard, and the walk-off run comes to the plate. Justin Felix comes through with his first hit of the day on a line drive up the middle into center. Phillips at third, Felix the tying run at first, and Austin Boast the walk-off run at the plate. Boast is 0 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. He had a clutch tying home run against Schaumburg a couple weeks back in the 9th inning. Pitch home. Inside, nearly hit Boast, 1-0. Top of the order, and Gary Mattis is on deck for the Otters. They trail 5-3 with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. Phillips at third, Felix at first. One 0. On the outside corner is strike 1-1. Abel working out of the stretch at the bounce. Kicks and fires. Slider outside, and a good stop by Steering. Spearing out the glove into the left-handed batter's box to avoid the ball going back to the backstop. Two on to Boast. Check swing on a ball outside. Appeal. He went around. A weird situation. There's only 2 umpires in this ball game. Chris Dykman, originally the home plate umpire, had to leave the ball game due to heat exhaustion. So there was no ump at first to check that swing. Robert Davis says he went around. 2-2 count. Pitch. Lined up the middle and down for a base hit. Phillips will score to cut the lead in half. Felix to second. Austin Boast, the young rookie from Texas A&M, comes through with a base hit up the middle. It's 5-4. The tying run at second, the walk-off run at first. Back to the top of the order, and Gary Mattis with still just 1 out in the inning. Mattis is 1 for 4 today, a double in the 5th, and time is called as Dan Schlereth, the Slammers manager, walking out to chat with Lee Belt. Mattis in just his 11th game back with the Otters after 2 seasons with Evansville. Signed right before the transaction deadline after starting the year in the Diamondbacks organization. Had a double off the wall in the 5th, hitting .231 entering today. In just 10 games this year. Schlereth chatting with Lee Belt and the rest of the Slammers infield. A leadoff double by Phillips, base hit by Felix up the middle, and Boast on a very similar looking hit on a ball that dropped in shallow center, driving in a run. And paving the way for the top of the Otters order to try to at least tie it, if not win it here in the 9th inning, and give the Otters the series. Evansville trying to march a big step closer to the Frontier League West playoffs. Lebo ready on the bump. The first pitch to Mattis. Check swing off the end of the bat. It will roll fair. Picked up by the first baseman Stevenson, and he steps on the bag. 2 away. Wow. Well, it will advance both runners. A check swing by Mattis, and it just went off the end of the bat and never kicked foul. Rolled right to the first baseman Stevenson. So Felix to third, the tying run. Boast the walk-off run at second. Boast has good speed. And I think Joliet makes the right decision here. One of the hottest hitters in the league, the reigning Frontier League Player of the Week. They're going to intentionally walk Myers, and why not? You have an open base at first. Boast at second is the walk-off run. There's no damage done at all. Intentionally walking Myers to first. The force is on everywhere, and it's all down to Jeffrey Baez. 0 for 4 today, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Baez hitting .289 on the season. Lee Belt at the belt. Pitch home. Swing and a miss. Felix ties the game at third. Boast walks off the game at second. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Otters trail 5-4. Evansville has won their last 3 one-run games. 0-1 from Lee Bell. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. The only disadvantage of intentionally walking the runner is if you get behind here, you could walk in the tying run. Liebelt down to the stretch. 1-1. Swing and a miss. A changeup falling out of the zone, and the Slammers are a strike away from a series victory. One-two to Baez. Swing and a miss. Liebelt strikes out Baez, and the Slammers win it tonight. Schaumburg will have to wait one more night to clinch. The Slammers win the series, and their slim playoff hopes remain alive with a series victory here at Bosse, just the third road series win of the year for the Slammers. The Otters had their chance in the ninth. An impressive rally mounted by the Otters. 3 hits in the ninth. They got a run across after really getting no offense over 7 straight innings. But the tying run stranded at third base, and the Otters fall tonight 5-4 on this Thursday night from Bosse Field. Final totals tonight: Joliet 5 runs on 9 hits, no errors. Evansville 4 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. Evansville's magic number will remain at 5 games, and the Otters drop the series tonight. They cannot win 3 series in a row. Otters fall to 47-39. They also still can't get to that 10-game over plateau. Still haven't been 10 games over 500 this season. The Otters fall to now 6 games back of Gateway for first place in the West. Joliet trying to chase the Otters, chase them down for that last playoff spot. Slammers move to 5.5 back of the Otters for the last playoff spot. 9 left to play for Joliet, 10 left to play for Evansville. The recap of tonight: Yomar Reyes did a 3-run home run in the first inning for the Otters to get out to an early lead. Joliet answered with 3 runs in the first inning. They had 4 singles and an error to tie the game. 2 runs in the 6th for the Slammers. Phil Steering hit a leadoff blast in the 6th. 3 straight hits got what ended up being the game-winning run across. Tyler DePretta Johnson had the RBI double in the 6th, closed out a huge series for DePretta Johnson, who finished with 7 hits this week. Otters just didn't do anything through the middle 7 innings of baseball. After that 3-run home run by Reyes, Evansville had just 1 base runner against Turner Larkins over the next 6 innings. Didn't get a runner in scoring, didn't get multiple runners on until the 8th. Otters got a threat in the 9th, scored a run, a double to lead off the inning by Phillips. Felix and Bose had back-to-back hits. Bases were loaded with 2 outs, but Liebelt strikes out Jeffrey Baez to win the ball game. 6th save of the season for Liebelt, and the Slammers win it. Win will go to Larkins. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed on 3 runs, 10 strikeouts to 1 walk. It's Larkins' 10th win of the season. Zach Smith suffers the loss. 5 1/3 innings pitched, allowed 9 hits, 4 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Smith falls this season to 6-8. We're back tomorrow night. The final series of the year here at Bosse Field kicks off tomorrow. 6:35 first pitch, same time, same place here on Flow Sports and the Otters Digital Network. Lefty Braden Scott will start for the Otters against the righty Jake McMahill. Hope you can join us then. Until then, a big shout out to our entire crew on this hot, challenging, humid night here in the River City. Michael Rust on cameras, our director Ian Klingler. I've been Griffin Epstein here on the Otters Digital Network. Hope you join us again tomorrow night, but that does it tonight here from Bosse Field. The Slammers defeat the Otters 5-4, win the series here in the River City. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night from Evansville.